Hello, I'm so glad that you're here with me today. I'm going to share with you a last minute homemade gift that is sure to impress. It is a great option for a family member, friend, coworker, or even a host or hostess gift. I think that we all have at least one person that is difficult to shop for. Either they already have everything they need, there isn't anything in particular that they want, or what they really want is out of your budget. This is a great option because handmade items show that you put some time into it, even if it was just while you were watching Hallmark movies 2 days before the gift exchange. We will start off with the materials. For this, you will need a skein of yarn. You can find yarn at any craft store, and you can even find it at most Walmart or Dollar Tree locations these days. I personally prefer the Red Heart brand yarn. It is made in America, and that's something that matters to me. I've put a link in the description where you can find this same yarn that I'm using. It's called Spearmint. It's an ombre option, as well as a link for a variety of Red Heart yarn color options. You will also need a 9mm crochet hook like this one. It's a fairly large size hook, but it allows for the stitches to be looser, which keeps the piece from being stiff. Before we get started, I wanted to take a second to go over the 2 stitches. Yes, we're only going to be using 2 stitches for this whole project so that you can easily crochet along with me in this video. First, we will be using chains. So let's start by making a chain. You need to start with the end of your yarn. In order to get started, take the longer end and put it over the end. Insert your crochet hook into that loop that it made, yarn over, and pull the yarn through that loop, and then just pull it to tighten it up. That's how we're going to start. We're going to make a foundation chain for this project, so in order to chain, you simply yarn over your hook and you pull it through the loop that's already on, and you just keep doing this in order to make a chain. We will be using a chain for the foundation of this scarf, and we will also need to throw a chain in at the end of each row as we build the scarf. So that is what a chain looks like. Super, super easy. Just yarn over, pull it through. Yarn over, pull it through. That's a chain. All right, the other stitch that we will be using is a half double crochet. So let's go through that real quick. You're going to put the yarn over your hook, and then you insert into the stitch for this. You pick one just to show you. And then you're gonna yarn over again, pull it through. Now you have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over one more time and pull it through all 3 of those loops. That is a half double crochet. So then to do another one, you yarn over, go into the next chain, it's a stitch there, and you pull it through, you yarn over again, and you pull it through all 3 of the loops that are on the hook. It's really easy, and once you build up the muscle memory on this project, you'll be doing it without even thinking about it. So easy. Oops. All right, so those are the 2 stitches we'll be using, a chain and a half double. Now that we have the basics, we can get to work on this project. Feel free to pause this video at any point or to back it up if you need to see something again. Okay, to start, we're going to be creating a foundation chain. So you start with the the adjustable knot that I showed you earlier to start your chain, and you yarn over and pull through. That's 1. So we're going to count to 157 for this foundation chain. It's called a foundation chain because you're going to be building from it like a foundation of a house. So that's why we call it a foundation chain. So we've got 1. So 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, I've done 25, so I'm going to put the video on time lapse because I don't think y'all really want to sit here and watch me do the next 132. So let me speed this up a little bit and then I'll slow back down. Yay! And it is quite, oops, get that out of there. It is a long chain. We're making the length of it, and then we're going to go back and we'll build the width. We're ready to move on to our half double crochets. So as I told you earlier, you're going to yarn over. When you do this, first we're going to go into the second from the hook. So this one doesn't count because if we went right into this one, it would just pull out this chain we did. So this is the first one from the hook, and this is where we're going to go. So you're going to yarn over, insert, yarn over, and pull through. Now you got 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull it through again. And that's what we're going to use, that and the occasional chain. That's how we're going to build the rest of the scarf. It's really easy, but I think it's really pretty when it's done. So you're going to yarn over again, insert into the next stitch, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. Yarn over, next stitch, pull through, yarn over, pull through. It's kind of wonky there. All right, you just keep doing this all the way back so you'll have 156 double crochets on this row. It's gonna be really pretty. All right, again, I'm gonna put this in a little bit of a faster speed. If you need to pause it to review the half double crochets, no problem. And we'll just keep going to this row. I'll meet you at the end of this row. just got a couple more stitches in our foundation chain here. Just keep on. Last 3, whoops. 2, and 1. All right, now that we've done our last half double crochet in the last part of the chain, which was the first one we made, now we're going to chain another one. So you just yarn over and you just pull that through the one loop that's on your hook. Now we will turn around and go back the other way. So you literally just turn it so that you can keep going like that. It's kind of like the opposite of a typewriter. All right, so now we go into this first stitch here, right there. You're right, you're gonna yarn over and insert into the first stitch, yarn over, pull through, and we have our first half double crochet, there we go, on our second row. The foundation chain is the foundation chain, and so this here was our first row, and then this new one up here is our second row. So then you just keep going and keep doing half doubles. I feel like once you get past the chain, it's easier to just, it's easier to find your next stitch to double crochet into, and I feel like it goes a little faster once you've built up some of that muscle memory and you're acquainted with how to do it. All right, I am not going to make y'all sit through me doing a whole nother row. Just remember that when you get all the way back to the other end over here, when you put your last, there we go, that's right side up. When you put your last half double, it goes here in this stitch on the end where you turned. It's actually going in your chain where you did it. You'll yarn over, insert into this stitch, yarn over, pull through, and then make sure you add a chain before you turn. I'm going to keep crocheting. I'm going to do this off camera. I'll come back and catch up with y'all after I've made a little more progress. All right, I'm back and I only have this much left to go on my 14th row. And if I go back here, I think that 14 is gonna be all the rows I do, because I think that's a pretty good width. It's a really long scarf, so you're gonna be able to wrap it around multiple times so you don't want it to be too wide. Plus, the pattern with the ombre yarn, it's starting to repeat, so we've got some nice symmetry. So I think I'm gonna leave it at 14 rows. So I'm gonna finish, whoops, lost my spot. I'm just gonna finish this little bit and then I'll show you how to weave in the ends and your scarf will be complete. The last one there. All right, on the last one, when you're done, you do not chain one traditionally. So I'm gonna give myself a little bit, like 3 or 4 inches of yarn. I'm gonna take my snips and cut that. All right, so now I'm going to chain one like normal, but I'm going to keep pulling it through. And then I'm gonna pull it down tight, and that's how we finish the scarf. And then to weave in this end, if you cut it, there's a chance it could come undone. There's like it could ravel, or it just leaves like this weird looking spot. So I prefer to weave in my end. So I'm going to go into this first stitch here with my hook, and I'm gonna yarn over, technically, the hook and pull it back through. And then I'm going to go on the other side, go through the second one, do the same thing, and just keep alternating as you sew it through the stitches, basically. It kind of camouflages it, gives a little bit more security. You normally do this with pretty much any crochet project. I might have left my tail a little bit long this time, but I can always cut it later. All right, I've done a few stitches, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and cut it here. I left it a little too long. All right, and then we should have a tiny tail at the other end. Oh, it's a really long scarf. Yeah, here we go, right here. Where we started. So I'm going to go ahead and weave that one in as well. Sometimes I use a smaller hook to weave in the ends, but in case you bought a hook just for this project, any size hook will work. All right, one more weave in. All right, and it just kind of disappears. All right, so this is the completed scarf. It is, as I said, it's pretty long, but that way you can, whoever you give it to can wrap it around their neck multiple times to hold in the warmth. I think it's really simple, this stitch, but I think it's really pretty, and it has plenty of motion. It's not too stiff. So there you go. You now have a handmade gift that is sure to impress. Make sure you tell them that you made it. They'll appreciate it even more.